So we're in Psalm 85 today, and just before we get into this, a bit of an apology really. Psalm 85 is, well, do you like all these Psalms, is so glorious, and there's so much in it that we're not going to spend any time on, and it feels almost a crime to do this. Like verses 10 and 11, I'm not even going to touch on, and yet they're stunning. And I guess I'm saying this as a way to remind myself and you, what we're doing here is we're reading the Psalms and using them as diving boards to jump off, to get into an ever deeper end of this life of prayer. But we do so recognizing that these Psalms are so rich that we need to keep coming back to them and reading them and exploring them afresh, because there's so much stuff that we're barely scratching the surface on. So let's have a read of this, and I've got, I think, 3 things that I want us to pray. So Psalm 85, Lord, you were favorable to your land. You restored the fortunes of Jacob. You forgave the iniquity of your people. You covered all their sin. You withdraw all your wrath. You turn from your hot anger. Restore us again, O God of our salvation, and put away your indignation toward us. Will you be angry with us forever? Will you prolong your anger to all generations? Will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your steadfast love, O Lord, and grant us your salvation. Let me hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people, to his saints. But let them not turn back to folly. Surely his salvation is near to those who fear him, that glory may dwell in our land. Steadfast love and faithfulness meet. Righteousness and peace kiss each other. Faithfulness springs up from the ground, and righteousness looks down from the sky. Yes, the Lord will give what is good, and our land will yield its increase. Righteousness will go before him and make his footsteps a way. None of us likes to think about the anger of God. I don't think the idea of God's wrath is frightening, rightly so, something to be feared. And you can see here God's frustration and his anger with his people for the way that they've lived. And rather than kind of look at them and go, oh, you muppets, what this does is remind me of the times when I have fallen way short of God's best. Those daily moments when I don't live right. And what this psalm does is take me to a place of confession, a place of asking for the Lord's forgiveness. We're the ones who want to walk in step with the Spirit, but in order to walk in step with the Spirit, we need to cut out all the other rubbish of our life that often gets in the way. And so there is a need, I think, on a daily basis to say, Lord, I've messed up. Here are the ways in which I'm not living your way. Please would you forgive me and help me turn my life around and give me all I need to live well. So this psalm invites us to a place of humble confession that, Lord, we've messed up. But it also, and you see this in verses 6 and 7, it invites us to be praying for those who are still weighed down by the weight of that. And too often, I think we see it in church. We understand, I hope, that through the death and resurrection of Jesus, we're free, we're forgiven. Yet too often, we walk around like we're still carrying the weight of our mess, and we don't need to. So listen to verses 6 and 7. Will you not revive us again, that your people may rejoice in you? Show us your steadfast love, O Lord, and grant us your salvation. I guess what this awakens in me is a desire to pray that we will be a church that stands up tall and can walk in the freedom that we've been given, that there will be a refreshing and a renewing of our spirits that comes along with the forgiveness. And then verse 8, I think, is the other place it takes me to in prayer. Let me hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace to his people, to his saints. It is a constant joy to me that I am one of the sheep that gets to hear the voice of the shepherd. It's just a beautiful thing. And what this psalm reminds us of, is that he speaks to us. We get to hear him. So what this psalm invites is more practice, more being still, more learning, a growth in sensitivity to his voice, because hearing him isn't always easy and requires us to go to that place of opening ourselves up to him and what he wants to say. So the scratch of the surface of Psalm 85, I think, invites us to pray in 3 ways. to confess and receive the forgiveness of God, to pray for the renewal and the refreshing of his Spirit on all of us as a church, and to be still, to shut up and to listen and keep listening and learn to listen. Have a read and have a pray. God bless.